Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sam's Summaries. This episode is a deep dive discussion into Sam Fury's summary of Chapter 6 from the book Models by Mark Manson. It has been created with the help of AI. The chapter is titled The Three Fundamentals. You can read the original post at samfury.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are jumping into another deep dive. And we're really getting into the meat and potatoes this time.
Yeah.
With Mark Manson's models.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And specifically, we are looking at Chapter 6 of the book, The Three Fundamentals, as he calls it.
The three fundamentals, that's right.
And basically, we are going to try to unlock some dating wisdom as we go through this.
Yep.
So that's the mission for today, to really try to understand these three key areas that we can focus on to improve our dating lives. And just as importantly, maybe even more importantly,
Right.
figure out if we fall into the anxious category or the disconnected category, which are two of the categories that he outlines in this chapter.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think what's really interesting about Manson's approach here is that he kind of does away with all of the, tricks or pickup artistry. All that stuff is just thrown right out the window. And he really focuses on genuine attraction and how to become a genuinely attractive person.
Yeah. I love that it's not manipulative. It's like magnetic. It's like you are becoming this person that people are drawn to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So tell me about these three fundamentals: lifestyle, courage, communication.
Yeah.
They seem pretty broad.
Yeah, they do. They seem really broad at first glance, but he kind of breaks them down into these three, areas that he calls honest living, honest action, and honest communication. And kind of the theme that runs through all of them is this idea of vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability, being open and honest with yourself.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and kind of putting yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah, scary, but also kind of exciting at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
So let's break it down. Let's start with honest living. What does that look like in the lifestyle category?
Yeah, so when we're talking about honest living and lifestyle, we're talking about creating a life that you genuinely enjoy. So it's thinking about your job, thinking about your hobbies, your physical health, your social circle, all of these things kind of contribute to your overall lifestyle. And so, the better your lifestyle, the more attractive you become.
Okay, so it's not about pretending to have this awesome life to impress someone else.
Right.
It's about doing things that actually bring you joy and actually improve the quality of your life.
Yeah, exactly. It should feel good for you first and foremost.
Right, yeah. That's huge.
Yeah.
So how does that actually translate into attracting another person?
Yeah. Well, think about it this way. When you're passionate about your life, it shows.
Yeah.
You radiate a certain energy, you have stories to tell, you have experiences to share, and you have a sense of purpose that's magnetic. And so it's not about checking off these boxes of what, society deems attractive, but it's about creating a life that reflects your unique values and passions.
I can see how that builds confidence too. You're not relying on this external validation from someone else to feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
You're already getting that from these things in your life that bring you joy.
Yeah, it's this positive feedback loop where you invest in yourself, you feel good about yourself, and then that makes you more attractive to others.
Right, it just kind of snowballs into this positive thing.
Exactly.
So that makes me think about the times I've been too afraid to approach someone you know.
Yeah.
Which brings us to courage or honest action.
Right.
How much does having the guts to just go for it actually matter when it comes to attraction?
It matters a lot more than people think. And Manson has this interesting idea in the book that even if you're, terrible at everything else, your lifestyle isn't perfect, your communication skills are, a work in progress. If you can just simply conquer that fear of approaching people, it can do wonders for your dating life.
I kind of struggle with that a little bit because it feels like it's got to be more than just having the nerve to walk up to someone.
Yeah.
You've got to have some social skills and compatibility. And
Of course. Yeah, you're right. You need those things.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, fear often stems from this, feeling of inferiority or caring too much about what the other person thinks.
Right.
And so just the act of taking action, even if it's clumsy or awkward, can help break down those barriers.
Oh, yeah.
It shows that you're willing to be vulnerable and put yourself out there, and that can be incredibly attractive.
So it's not even just approaching someone you're attracted to at a bar or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just being honest with yourself and with that person about your feelings.
Exactly. And that takes courage.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you are attracted to someone and you don't do anything about it, you're essentially being dishonest with yourself and that person.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the foundation of a great life. We've got the courage to take action. Now, what about communication? How does honest communication
Yeah.
make someone more attractive?
Communication is about going beyond just like the surface level conversations and like really connecting with someone on a deeper level.
Okay.
It's about expressing your personality, your humor, your passions, all those things that make you you.
Mm-hmm.
Think about someone who tells captivating stories,
Yeah.
who makes you laugh, who listens intently and asks engaging questions.
Right.
That's the power of honest communication.
So it's not just about like knowing what to say,
Right.
It's about being genuine and like creating a real connection with the person.
Exactly. And that involves, flirting and showing interest.
Yeah.
It's expressing your romantic interest, but in a way that's authentic to you.
Right.
Maybe you're playful and teasing. Maybe you're more direct and sincere.
Okay.
But the key is to just be true to yourself and let your personality shine through.
So this is all great in theory, but it also seems kind of overwhelming.
Okay.
Where do you even start with all of this?
Yeah. Well, Manson actually has a really good suggestion for this. And he says, identify your weakest fundamental and focus on that one first.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, when you're working out,
Right.
you might have really strong legs but weak arms. So
Yeah.
you're going to want to focus on your arms to kind of create a more balanced physique.
Right.
And it's the same thing with dating.
Okay.
So if you're awesome at, building a fulfilling lifestyle, but you're terrified of approaching people, then, where you need to focus your energy.
Yeah. So it's like figure out what your biggest weakness is and tackle that one head on.
Exactly.
Makes sense. All right. Before we wrap up, I want to touch on these two common dating personalities that Manson describes.
Yeah.
The anxious and the disconnected.
Yes.
So can you kind of walk us through, what are the characteristics of each of those?
Yeah. So like anxious guys, they're often great communicators once they get going, but they really struggle with like approaching and escalating things romantically. They might overthink things, worry about rejection, get stuck in their heads.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you have disconnected guys and they have no fear of approaching,
Oh.
but they often lack social awareness and, make mistakes in their interactions.
Yeah.
They might come on too strong, miss social cues or struggle to like build those genuine connections.
So as you're listening to this, think about which one of those resonates with you more.
Right.
And that can really help you figure out what you need to work on.
Exactly. And of course, the goal is to become like this well-rounded dater
Right.
who has this fulfilling lifestyle, is socially connected, and is fearless in, pursuing what they want.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where all three of these things work together.
Exactly.
All right. So to recap, build a life you love, overcome your fears, and learn to communicate authentically.
Yeah.
And here's kind of a question to leave you with. If fear of rejection is often tied to feeling inferior, how can you start to build genuine self-confidence that shines through in your interactions? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We will catch you next time.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Sam's Summaries. If you found this episode useful, let us know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com to get free access to all of Sam's original summaries, which you can download as PDFs, as well as other exclusive content. It's all completely free at samfury.com.